The 1% mindset isn't about money. It isn't about luck. It isn't about being born into the perfect situation. The 1% mindset is about a way of thinking that refuses to settle for average. It's about showing up when everyone else gives up. It's about doing the things others avoid because they're uncomfortable, painful, or inconvenient. Most people want results, but they're not willing to do the small, consistent, unglamorous work it takes to get there. The 1% mindset says, I will do what 99% of people won't so I can live the life 99% of people can't. It's not about being special. It's about being willing to sacrifice, willing to grow, willing to endure. And once you shift your mindset to that level, your life changes in ways you can't imagine. Take the story of Jordan, a man who wanted to change his financial situation. He was living paycheck to paycheck, stuck in the same cycle as everyone around him. When his coworkers finished work, they went out to eat, spent money on drinks, bought things to keep up appearances. Jordan wanted to join them, but something inside told him, if I keep doing what they're doing, I'll keep getting what they're getting. So instead, he chose the 1% path. He stayed home, studied personal finance, and started a small side hustle. At first, nobody understood. They mocked him for being cheap, for not going out. But he stayed disciplined. Slowly, his savings grew, his side hustle expanded, and within a few years, he had built a safety net and a path to freedom. The same people who laughed at him now asked him for advice. That's the 1% mindset, delaying comfort today for freedom tomorrow. Then there's Lily, a young woman who struggled with her health. Every January, she would set resolutions like everyone else. And like everyone else, she would quit by February. But one year, she decided to change her approach. Instead of trying to do everything at once, she adopted the 1% mindset. Small improvements every single day. She didn't overhaul her entire diet overnight. She started with drinking one more glass of water each day. She didn't run a marathon on day one. She started with 10 minutes of walking. Each week, she added another tiny step. Months passed, and those tiny steps compounded into massive change. A year later, she barely recognized herself. Healthier, stronger, more confident. And when people asked how she did it, they expected a secret formula. But there was no secret. It was the 1% mindset, small, consistent, relentless progress. Most people fail because they think success requires giant leaps. They want instant results. They want to skip the process. But the truth is, success is boring. It's repetitive. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's practicing when no one is watching. It's saving when everyone else is spending. The 1% mindset isn't about intensity for a week. It's about consistency for years. That's why it's so rare. That's why only a few reach it. Not because they're more talented, but because they refused to quit when it got boring. Think about Carlos, a factory worker who wanted to provide a better future for his kids. He didn't have extra money for courses or coaches, but he had time. And instead of wasting his evenings on TV, he invested those hours into learning a new trade. At first, it felt pointless. Progress was slow, but he trusted the process. Day after day, night after night, he put in the hours. Years later, he transitioned into a higher-paying career that completely transformed his family's life. His kids didn't see the struggle. They didn't see the lonely nights of studying. All they saw was the outcome, a father who created opportunity out of nothing. That's the power of the 1% mindset. It plants seeds that grow into forests, even if no one claps in the beginning. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The 1% mindset is lonely. Because when you choose discipline over distraction, you'll lose friends. When you choose sacrifice over instant gratification, people will call you crazy. When you choose to grind in silence instead of showing off online, people won't understand. But that's okay, because you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for the future version of yourself who deserves better. You're doing it for the life you know you're capable of creating. And when that day comes, the same people who didn't understand will wonder how you did it. So ask yourself, do you want to live like the 99%, always waiting for the weekend, always broke, always unfulfilled? Or do you want to live like the 1%, disciplined, focused, and free? The choice is yours. Every small decision, every daily habit, every sacrifice adds up. The question is, are you willing to do what most people won't? Because if you are, you'll unlock what most people never will. That's the 1% mindset.